Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to take you to a bookstore, do a little bit of manga shopping, and then head to a cafe to get some editing done. Let's go. And on the way there, I'll be reading Goodbye by Yoshihiro Tatsumi. And this is more of like an alternative manga printed in probably the late 60s, I think, or 70s. Forgive me, I'm not too knowledgeable about that. But I heard this is quite dark and I can't wait to start it. So thoughts on it later. Let's go. 와인잔에 우리 기억이 담겨
피워낼수록 점점 멀어져 쏟아버리고 깨어난 후에 이젠 다 지울래 홀로 누워 그날 속에 잠겨
Hello everybody, so finally back home, I want to show you what I got. So first up here is what I showed you earlier. Once again, this is Goodbye, a series of short stories by the late Yoshihiro Tatsumi. And I already finished this on the way to the cafe, to the bookstore, and then coming back home after editing and all that stuff. Wow. Now, this is definitely something that touches more on darker themes, and this story takes place in Japan post World War II, and it shows the lives of these characters going through disparity, hopelessness, and tragedy, and it really shows the human emotion in this. Now, it's a collection of short stories, and what I've read in the introduction is that this mangaka likes to draw his characters in the story all looking the same. They have the same face, and this is because it's under the idea that they are to represent the everyday person. And I thought that was so powerful because in the manga industry, or even in literature in general, we're so focused on grand stories. But it's nice to really take a step back and see all the tragedy that happens in everyday lives, so to say. So the second item I picked up is H.P. Lovecraft's The Hound and Other Short Stories, adapted by Tanabe. Now, I picked this up mainly because of how gorgeous the art is. And when I saw it, I'm like, wow, I need to get this. It's also just a huge plus that there's a literal manga for H.P. Lovecraft work. So definitely gonna pick this up when I first saw this. I also know that there's two other pieces of H.P. Lovecraft manga adapted by Tanabe as well. I believe it's called The Mountain of Madness. There's 2 volumes for that. Don't quote me on that, but after this, I may pick up those 2 depending on how I'm feeling about this. Of course, only gonna read this at night. So the third book I decided to pick up is Under the Air by Osamu Tezuka, and this is the same author who wrote Astro Boy and Blackjack, so he's very popular in the manga industry, as you may know. Now, Under the Air is a series of short stories based on the duality of man, good versus evil, loving versus violence. And it really dives into the humanities of people and what they would do in certain situations. Now, I can't talk about this a lot because I haven't read it myself, and I can't recommend it because I haven't finished it. But I can't wait to start this and get into something a little bit more darker than a typical shonen. Now, for this final book, I have a question to ask all of you. If you were given the opportunity to go back in time to the time of your youth, say around the age of 13, given the knowledge that you have now, would you do anything differently? Would those actions change the course of your future? And would you lose what you have now in order to obtain something different? That's basically the story of this fourth book I picked up, A Distant Neighborhood by Jiro Taniguchi. And it follows a man in his 40s who takes a train back to his childhood neighborhood, and somehow he's transported back in time to the age of 13, but still retains his memories and his knowledge of a 40-year-old man. and now he's given the opportunity to do things differently a second time. I haven't read this, but that's what got me hooked and what made me want to cop it right away. So review when this comes out, absolutely. Story sounds great, but I don't want to speak too highly of it just yet. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a lot more chill than my usual reviews, and I really like doing this because it's a lot more casual. I don't have to write up a whole script. I just, you know, come out here and talk and be myself, so to say. Now, if you've read any of these 4 books, leave a comment down below which ones you've read and let me know your thoughts on it. But please, no spoilers. Please, no spoilers. Please, please, no spoilers. All right. Guys, stay strong, stay healthy. I will catch you in the next video. Later.